Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the autumnal equinox, which is occurring on September 22nd, 2021. And I am also going to be doing a live stream for the equinox. That's going to be at 3:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12:21 p.m. Pacific Time. So I am going to set that up ahead of time. I'm not sure. Sometimes people don't get notified when the live stream happens. I think you can click to join so that you'll get a notification when I go live. But also just know that, and you can plan on that if you want to join for that. We're going to be doing a meditation to really welcome in some of these beautiful energies that we're going to be talking about tonight that are going to be assisting us during the equinox and just sharing our energy and coming together in a moment of gratitude, in a moment of solidarity, just connecting from that heart space. I love connecting with you guys and doing those live streams. So that's going to be really fun. And I'm sure that some of you did pick up on or notice that I said 12:21 p.m. Pacific time. So this is very significant. Those of you who've been following this channel for a while or following other channels or just your own intuition around numerology, you know that 1221 is a big deal, the 1221. So we talked about, or have been talking about since 2020, this recalibration, this rewiring of the matrix, right? Where we're working with this binary code, these ones, these twos, and these zeros. And so there have been a lot of auspicious dates, a lot of really powerful dates having to do with the numbers 1, 2, and 0. And we will all remember, of course, that 1221 energy that many considered last year to be the energy that was going to take us into the great solar flash, that we were going to experience the great solar flash on 1221 and really move fully into the fifth dimension. And we are in the fifth dimension. It's just, where is our consciousness? Where is our presence, right? The fifth dimension is present here right now. We can tap into that energy and that frequency anytime we wish. But we didn't see that huge leap in consciousness, that quantum leap that many people were expecting, because the timeline shifted. It just didn't, it wasn't time yet. Humanity wasn't ready. It wasn't going to be most beneficial to have that huge surge of energy at that time. But it was still a very powerful day, and we still received a lot of powerful activations. And so with this autumnal equinox, this 1221 energy presenting itself again, we are going to be experiencing a huge upsurge in energy. For a lot of us, there's going to be a lot of downloads coming in, a lot of beautiful recalibrations of our energy. We're going to be looking at or talking about, actually, why am I saying we're going to? We're going to talk about it right now. So when we have these equinoxes, right, we have 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. So once again, that 12-12 energy, those ones and those twos, right? So this is where the dark and the light are completely equal. Right? They're balanced. And so a balancing of the darkness and the light within us. And what is darkness really? It's simply a place where light has not yet been shown. Right? The aspects of our darkness, the places where our darkness lives, are simply places we have not yet shown the light upon. And so this is that was something that came through in my channeling for the 1010 portal, which it seemed worthy of noting here, right? But however you want to look at this energy, right? Our darkness and our light are in balance. So it's bringing the aspects of us into balance. It's also when we have this galactic activation portal of the white solar wind energy, which we're also going to get into. That involves the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. So a lot of recalibrating and balancing of our energies as darkness and light come into perfect equilibrium and balance. And then, of course, we know from here the darkness begins to creep in a little more. We have more, when we're talking about daylight and nighttime, we have a longer nighttime and a shorter day, right? So it's really a preparation for moving into that darkness of winter, that winter of our lives, at least here in the northern hemisphere, right? Exploring that darkness, opening up to that more, creating that space for this internal process to begin, creating space for the next phase of creation. The autumnal equinox is traditionally a time of harvest. And so we're looking at what we've created so far. We are seeing the fruits of our labors perhaps coming in. We are seeing things coalescing and coming into form that we've been cultivating, we've been putting work into throughout this past year. Right? We're seeing those manifestations coming through of our thoughts, our words, our action, and our vibration, and where that's been applied consistently since the last equinox, since the last fall equinox. So a big time of harvest. And yes, we are having that beautiful harvest moon in full moon in Pisces on the 20th, the video for which will have already premiered and will be available to watch when this video comes out. This video is also set as an instant premiere, and so it'll be premiering on Sunday, I believe I'm setting it for. And that full moon in Pisces video will be out. So definitely watch that. But a big energy of harvest. That's why when we do the live for the equinox, we're going to be working with the energy of gratitude. We always want to be working with the energy of gratitude. But it's going to be extremely powerful to show gratitude on this day. And it's really a time of connecting with our cycles of creation, connecting with our inner cycles, connecting with the cycles of the planet, and really allowing ourselves to synchronize more deeply with that. Some of the information that came through when I channeled for the equinox was that we are going to be much more in tune with the planetary energies and with the earth cycles after this equinox. It's bringing us into a deeper alignment, a deeper cosmic alignment. And so we're going to feel the energies of the moon, the energies of all of the different planets, even more acutely. So we really want to be paying attention to what's happening in the planetary sphere, because that is going to be influencing us even more powerfully as we become more connected and aligned with the cosmic energies and with the planetary energies. That's why we work so much with astrology on this channel, because it is so incredibly powerful. And also why we work with the Mayan astrology, which we're going to get into with the white solar wind galactic activation portal energy for the equinox. We're going to get into that as well. But really working with understanding the planets and the energies of the planets. I think I'm going to be teaching some classes. They're going to be little Zoom classes, not overly expensive, going over the energies of the different planets and different things about astrology. So I may start a poll, but if that's something that you guys are interested in and people would like those classes, I may offer those. Of course, I am going to be doing on the equinox, which is so powerful, my first class for Synchronicity University on the 6 axes of the Zodiac and balancing those polarities. The information, if you want to get in on that, is in the description box below. Check out synchronicityuniversity.com. That is Nadia Shah's Synchronicity University. I know that quite a few people on this channel found me through her channel. She is absolutely incredible, and I am so honored and so humbled to have this opportunity to teach that class for her. But it really got me thinking, and it realized that I can absolutely offer little mini classes here and there for you guys, if that's something that you want. You can also reach out to these planets and ask to connect with them, ask to work with their energies. They want you to connect with them. They are our guides, just as much as we think about our team, our personal angels and guides and all of that. These planets are our guides as well, and they hold different keys to different energies within us to help activate those energies within us. That's what they're doing up there. That's what we talk about on this channel, right? It's our evolution and our ascension and the ways that the planets help to activate these aspects within us. And so working with different planets personally can be a powerful way to really get in touch with their energy. Just be aware of what planet you're working with and what that planet does and what the energies of that planet are. Because not all of the planets are gentle. They are all concerned with our growth and evolution, but the ways and means that they go about that and the aspects of the self that they help to transform and activate are different. And that's why I may start teaching some classes on this as well for people who want to get more familiar with these energies. For instance, Pluto, a very powerful energy. Pluto is the planet of power. But working with Pluto doesn't mean, is an intense process. It is the most intense planet, arguably. It is the planet of deep transformation. I've worked with the energy of Pluto. Pluto, for those of you who've followed me for a minute, may be aware, is my favorite planet. I really resonate with the energy. I have Pluto and Scorpio in my 4th house, which may be part of the intensity that sometimes I can exhibit. but it is my favorite planet, but it is not a planet to be taken lightly. I had a very powerful experience in meditation, connecting with and invoking the energy of Pluto. Pluto taught me some powerful things about power and about the ways that Pluto helps us step into our power, right? But Pluto helps us step into our power by facing our shadow, by bringing forward all the obsessions, all the neuroses, all of the fears, all of that deep-seated stuff, in order for us to overcome, in order for us to see it and to integrate it. As we integrate these, what some would call the darker aspects of the self, we have more light available to us. Pluto teaches us about power, but it does not do it so gently. And so working with the energy of Pluto, you just want to be aware, just like working with the energy of Uranus. Uranus is the planet of divine intervention. It is a planet that represents forward movement and evolution, but it also can bring with it chaos, or what is perceived to the unorganized or the unenlightened mind. And I don't mean that in a negative way, like when I say the unenlightened or unorganized mind, I just mean like the mind that is not completely plugged into the cosmic planetary mind. It can be perceived as chaos, right? So if you're calling in the energy of Uranus, you want to know what that may bring with it. It can also bring a lot of inventive solutions to problems. It can bring a lot of inspiration through. It can, kind of like Moldavite. Working with Uranus is sort of like if you decide that you want to start working with the crystal Moldavite. Like, you never know what's going to happen because it's going to align you to your highest path, and it might be a wild ride. You know, working with the energy of Mars, there's a lot of passion and intensity in Mars. So you have to be aware of that. You may find triggers coming up so that you can work through those, so that you can master the energy of passion, which can often be experienced as anger, right? And so you want to know that that may come up. But on the other hand, working with the Sun or Mars is great for working with vitality. Working with Saturn is going to bring through a lot of lessons, but it's also going to help if you're trying to fine-tune your focus, if you're trying to get really committed to a goal and see that goal through and work on boundaries, work on prioritizing, then it's still a great planet. But you may have some lessons coming through. There's a seriousness to that energy. Saturn is very stern. Saturn wants to see you grow, but it wants you to understand what growth entails and what commitment entails. So these are the things you want to think about if you're wanting to work with any specific planets. And like I said, if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I am absolutely willing to put together some classes. And as we're talking about this, I'm definitely thinking like the general overall energies of the planets would probably be the first class or a few classes that I did. But yeah, so connecting with the planets, becoming more cosmically connected. And really, just so much activation, you guys. So what I saw when I was meditating for this, and what made me want to lead a meditation for the equinox as well, and just help us to bring in these energies, was just all of these beautiful golden and pink rays of light just emanating from the cosmic sun, the grand central sun, emanating from the heart of the universe. And just reaching out to us, almost like these beautiful tendrils of healing and love, and really activating and soothing that heart center. It feels like we're going to be given, it's almost like the umbilical cord of the Great Mother herself. And so we're going to be able to really sip that sweet nectar of her love. And this energy, these beautiful tendrils and cords of energy that are going to be reaching out to us and really illuminating, especially that heart center, are going to be instilling and restoring a sense of faith, trust, and hope. Because there has been so much happening in the world around us, right? In our own personal lives, so much that we've been experiencing that sometimes that faith, that trust, and that hope, it falters a little. And so this is going to be a really beautiful restorative energy for our souls, for our hearts, and we're going to be able to continue to connect to this energy, call upon this energy. We're really going to want to utilize this energy and this connection to the Sacred Mother as we move through the next few months and we finish out 2021, because it's going to be intense. And honestly, I don't really know that 2022 or 23 are going to be any less intense, to be 100% with you guys. I think these energies, it's going to be intense for a while, but definitely the end of 2021. But it's different kinds of intensity, right? 2020 was intense too. 2021 has been a different kind of intense, and 2022 will be a different kind of intense too. But maybe more with those, all those twos, maybe a little bit more balancing, right? We'll find out when we get there. We'll find out when we get there. We're beginning that balancing now. So that harmonization, that balancing energy, right? This hope, this restoration, this mother's milk that we're going to be receiving to really bring that faith, bring that trust back in. It's like a soothing balm for the soul is what it feels like. And really recalibrating us, opening, upgrading that heart center, and reconnecting us to our hearts, anywhere where we felt disconnected from our hearts or our souls or from the cosmic great mother, sacred mother herself. We're going to feel that connection or have the opportunity to feel that connection reestablishing, as well as the connection to the earth. As we're receiving these high frequency energies, we want to be feeding, and now like the ringing's going off like crazy, so Gaia's like, thank you. We want to be feeding these energies back into the planet as well. So really connecting. If we can go outside in nature during this equinox, I may even do this, do the live stream from out in nature somewhere, which means that we may not have the card reading part of it, but we'll be able to really connect. So I actually encourage everyone who's going to be joining the live stream to go out in nature if you can during that meditation, so we can really be sending that energy back into the earth and grounding into and connecting with the earth. Remember, when we are being connected more cosmically, we want to be grounded more to the earth as well, because otherwise we might metaphorically, or who knows, maybe even quite literally float away. So we want to be grounded, and we want to be sharing that energy and anchoring that energy. We came here for her. Okay, we came here for each other. We came here to be the example to humanity, but we came here for her as well. We really, really did. All of the people who watch this channel, right? The starseeds, the empaths, the light workers, the 144,000. We came here for her. Yes, we came here to have our own experience, right? We came here to show humanity a way forward, to assist in the awakening of humanity, but really to assist in the rising frequency of the planet, of Gaia, right? Just as we talk about all these other planets in the solar system have an energy, right? They have a consciousness. They are here to guide us. So does Gaia. We can't forget about the planet that we live on, because she is the most relevant to us right now, right? And so really loving her, nourishing her. She wants to give us so much. She has given us so much. She gives and gives and gives. And so it's like we can relate to that, right? Being the light workers, being the light bearers, being the healers. Generation after generation, giving and giving and giving, right? It's time for us to receive. It's time for her to receive. And she receives through us, so powerfully through us. So really bringing in that connection with her, strengthening that connection with her. What else? Oh, yes. Another interesting thing that came through was that time is going to be moving even more differently after this equinox. Right, because we are moving out of linear time, especially as we move into and we anchor our consciousness more firmly into the fifth dimension. And so we'll put it that way: those of us who are anchoring ourselves more deeply into the fifth dimension will experience time moving differently. Those who are firmly plugged into the three-dimensional matrix still may not notice this or experience this. But those of us who are becoming more and more aligned with this fifth dimensional energy, we're going to be experiencing this. And so we may notice those time lapses happening more often. We may notice that we are bending time without even realizing that we're doing it, which is going to be really interesting. And if we consciously work with this energy, we can experience some real shifts around this. So playing with that energy of time. Let's see what else. Is there anything else? I feel like we really covered a lot of it with that. Yeah, and the astrology of the equinox, that's going to be in the weekly astrology video, which I'm probably going to be recording right after this one. So that one should already be out when this video goes out. So if you want to know about the the astrology of the equinox, which is also powerful. Check out the weekly astrology video. There's a powerful energy of change. There's a powerful energy of change and justice, and this new cycle, like a harvest around that. Maybe we may see a lot of developments over this next week and into the beginning of October around justice and equality, around information coming out. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So just stay tuned for all of that. But it's really us growing and expanding as far as coming into a more empowered version of ourselves that lives and stepping more and more deeply into our integrity, into our own sense of truth and justice and fairness, right? Into our own speaking our own truth, owning our truth, living our truth more and more powerfully and more deeply, and noticing where that's out of alignment. That's all we'll get into as far as the astrology goes. Like I said, check out the weekly astrology video. All right. Now there is, for those of you, if I don't link it in the description box below, there's a playlist called Weekly Astrological Energies. So you can find it there. It's also going to be in my recently posted videos, so you'll be able to find it there as well. I want to start with some Work Your Light cards for this equinox energy. Clear. What guidance do we have from the Work Your Light deck from our star family? For this beautiful equinox, autumnal equinox. First card out, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. But I love this, the Age of Light, right? This is us bring all of that beautiful, beautiful light that is coming in for us during this equinox, that we are integrating, that we are utilizing. I mean, look at this. It's very Egyptian. She's very Egyptian looking, right? And she's standing inside a pyramid of light. And so this is like this feels like a major activation energy to me. Definitely for some, activating aspects of our soul from other, calling in from other dimensions and timelines, which would be another way of saying past lives, right? But we know that all lives are actually concurrent. So calling in some of those energies. This is us also really stepping up and knowing and understanding that it's like the remembrance, that remembering energy. And I feel like that was an energy, actually. I think that I talked about that in the weekly astrological energies. This, where we may begin remembering more from other lifetimes. Right? So that coming more into our awareness. Because this isn't our first go-round. Many of us have been here for a very long time, and many of us with this same mission. It's not a mission that happens. Some may have just flown in for this lifetime or however many lifetimes it takes, hopefully just this one. I believe just this one. Like this is when we will see many ascending and choosing that higher timeline. But we've been building up to this. It doesn't happen overnight. We've been building up to this ascension for a very long time, for hundreds, thousands of years, really. And so some people who watch this channel, and I resonate with this personally as well, have been here for thousands of years, for many, many lifetimes, cultivating this energy within the self and within the world. And every single experience that we've had, even if it hasn't been on this planet, in other planets, in other galaxies, right, has been everything. It all comes together. It's all connected. So you've been training for this, not just this lifetime, but for many, many lifetimes. You are ready. Right? You have everything within you that you need in order to move forward in the way that you're being called to move forward right now. Don't question yourself. Or, it's okay. Actually, questioning yourself is healthy, right? Because that helps us to be balanced. But don't sell yourself short, and don't allow yourself or anybody else to convince you that you're not good enough. or that what you have to say doesn't matter, or that you can't, that you're not capable, okay? Because you absolutely are. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. It's like that little voice inside our heads that wants to tell us we're not ready. That voice is always going to be there. So we can't listen to that voice always. Like, we can tap into our own inner resonance. We can pay attention to what's aligning with us and what's not aligning. We can be in that flow, right? That universal flow, that cosmic flow. We can trust in divine timing and develop and cultivate a sense of divine timing. But that little voice is all like that little voice is always going to be there. So you can't just go off that voice that tells you you're not ready. You are ready. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So yeah, some major activations for people. That are really going to help them tap into their inner gods and goddesses, right? Whatever you want to call that, their soul energy. Their oversoul energy. Yeah, I feel that. Like that energy from the oversoul pouring in. Then we have boundaries coming out. We know we're always working on that, right? We have Imrama and Pleiades. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And Imrama is all about where you're being called to journey to. Yeah. So this is always coming out to remind us the importance of holding our boundaries. Right? Of protecting ourselves energetically. We've been talking about this a lot. It's been coming up a lot. We're in Libra season, right? Which is very much about boundaries. Learning how to, and remember, the most important thing about boundaries is not difficult to set. Well, it can be difficult to set a boundary, but the really difficult part comes in reinforcing that. Because just because you set a boundary doesn't mean other people are going to respect it, especially if you haven't been good about enforcing boundaries in the past, right? They're going to test you. They're going to push you to see how much they can get away with, to see how much you really mean it. And so it's really important. You see all these hands grabbing towards her. We talked about this in a video the other day. As your light grows, right? As your light grows, you are going to become more and more magnetic and attractive. And as other people begin waking up, they're going to be more and more called to you. Because they want help, they want guidance. And this isn't a bad thing, right? But we have to learn how to hold our own light for ourselves, if that makes any sense. Like how to be strong in our own light and how to not give away our light. Because people, whether they mean to or not, will feed off of our light. So our job is to show them and to teach them in a way that respects our personal boundaries, how to connect to their own oversoul, how to connect to their own source of power. So they aren't feeding off of us or attempting to feed off of us, our light, our energy. But that's why we want to be constantly cutting cords. We want to be just setting the intention does it, right? We want to be cutting cords. We want to be shielding our energy. All of those things, right? And we want to be setting those verbal boundaries and those physical and those personal boundaries in our personal lives as well. So we have to know and understand, like, what is our role, right? How is it that we are able to be of service? How is it that we are able to give? And where are we giving too much? Or where are we giving in a way that's not honoring our own needs and our own light? You know, I have a lot of friends and a lot of people in my life who are going through a lot right now. And it's hard, but there's only so much that I'm able to give of myself. And I used to be the person who would always rush in and just basically be like, here, take what you need. You know, like, let me revive you, let me help you, let me save you. And I'm not that person anymore. A lot of the work that I do like this. And I do, yes, one-on-one, I work individually with people, right? But there's a start time and an end time to that. And I've also had to learn how to work with that energy and how much to give outside of that set time. Because people will ask for that too. People, and it doesn't mean anything bad, right? It just means like I have to decide where those boundaries are for myself so that I have enough of my own light to sustain me. And I had to learn how to share from the overflow and how to share directly from spirit instead of sharing my own energy. And I also had to learn how to prioritize, and I had to learn how I can be there for people on a one-on-one level. Because I can't do it the same way I used to do it before. I can't do it to the level that I used to do it before. Right? That has had to shift and that has had to change, and that's been tough. You know? I mean, unfortunately, I should say, the friends that I have in my life, the people that I care deeply for, who care deeply for me, they understand this. And so it's not something that creates a negative reaction. Right? They understand all of these concepts themselves. And so it works out. It's just, for me, it's my own level of guilt sometimes that I have to work through. And that's a boundary I have to set with myself, right? Am I going to allow myself to become engulfed in this feeling of guilt that I can't be there the way that I wish that I could? The way that probably wasn't the healthiest for me. Because that's my own stuff. Or am I going to set that boundary with myself and transmute and alchemize that energy? So we all learn boundaries. We're all learning this art of boundaries in one way or another, and it's never easy. And we didn't come here for easy. All right. If you're watching this channel, if you are, you know, what do I say at in my intro, at least my written intro? You know, welcome, light warriors. Light warriors, okay? We didn't come here because this was going to be easy. And so that's a great reminder when we start getting into that mentality of like, why is this so hard? We didn't want it to be easy, right? It's easy. In so many other dimensions and so many other places where we exist, things are easy. We thrive on challenge. We thrive on this type of experience. And so, yeah, it's not easy, but we really, if we were honest with ourselves, we didn't want it to be. Sometimes we wish it were a little bit easier. I definitely fall into that camp, but we didn't expect it to be easy, nor did we truly want it to be. Right, so lots of different energies coming out here. We have the Imrama energy. So if you are being called to journey somewhere during this equinox, go and journey there, because there's a gift for you. There's power in places. This may be a physical journey. This may be an astral journey, right? We have the Pleiades card coming out. So many people, are connected to the Pleiadians. That is one of the most commonly identified with starseed lineages, right? There's a lot of Pleiade blood running around here. Many of us, pretty much all of us, I think, have connections to the Pleiades of varying degrees. And so they're here to remind us that our mission is double. It is channeling and it is uplifting humanity. But it's uplifting humanity through our frequency, through our example. And I really love, Pete on the Chosen 144 talks about this all the time. Right? This energy of like, we didn't come here to save humanity. We came here to uplift them by uplifting the frequency of the planet and by being the example that they can choose to follow or not. So it's really important that we know that, and that's where part of this boundaries comes in, right? We're not saving anybody. We are here to heal ourselves. We are here to grow. We are here to be that example. And we're here to just hold the frequency and hold the light. We are capable of holding frequencies of light that others are not capable of. That's why it's so important that we're here. That's also why we go through so much, both physically, energetically, spiritually, emotionally. It takes a lot to hold that light. And every time a higher frequency of that light comes in, more of that darkness or that lower vibratory energy that we've picked up just by being here on this planet gets purged out, because it can't exist where that frequency exists. And so it's a constant, it's intense, right? But we knew that, like we said, we knew that coming in here. But it's knowing that and understanding that and really stepping more deeply into that mission. So there may be messages coming through from the Pleiadians or from any of your starseed lineages. We talked about in the 9/9 portal how we had strands of our DNA being activated so that we could connect more easily with our starseed lineages. And so we may feel some of that starting to activate and come online as we move through this equinox and beyond. Yeah, we may in meditation go, you notice how they're like floating up here and you see like this. I feel like some people may be going to visit. Maybe you're going to go visit a ship, or you're going to be taken somewhere in your meditation where you get to meet some of your star family, which is pretty cool too. But they're here. They're reminding us of our mission, and they're reminding us of how much support we have. We're not doing this alone. We're the boots on the ground, right? We're the ground crew. But they're up there supporting us every step of the way. Yeah. And the more we step into and we embrace and we accept this heart-opening energy, the more powerfully we're able to connect with them, because they're of such high frequency that our heart energy and having that beautiful open heart is really what deeply connects us to them. We have to be in that high frequency in order to connect with them. Yeah. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. That's what you guys are. That's what we are, right? We are priestesses and priests and mystics and teachers and warriors and healers, right? But who do we heal? First and foremost. So really our inner mystic, our inner teacher, our inner priestess, our inner whatever being powerfully activated during this equinox. I want to close with a couple Secret Language of Light cards and maybe a Star Temple Oracle, since we had that Pleiadian energy coming in. The Star Temple Oracle is a Pleiadian deck. Clear. Let's get Secret Language of Light card here for this equinox energy. People who've been really working on cultivating your channeling abilities, really working on opening that heart energy, raising your frequency, meditating, connecting, right? Because that's what that entails. You may, as we're talking about this harvest energy, you may begin to see, if you haven't been feeling that energy paying off, you may begin to find that connection getting easier. Especially on today. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the galactic energy. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about with this equinox. Hopefully I won't forget. We're going to go over it's a galactic activation portal. We have that white solar wind energy, which is really about connecting. It's all about channeling. It's connecting to the inspiration of spirit, connecting with our spirit guides, with all of this stuff. So we're going to talk about that too. I'm going to have to timestamp this video for people. Oh my God, I can't believe I got carried away. What I'm going to do actually, so I don't forget, is I'm going to put the galactic calendar up here on the table in front of me. So that way I see it, and I don't forget to talk about that because that's important too. That's a big aspect of this portal. All right. But yeah, and it was really interesting. Some video popped up on my YouTube feed the other day, and I checked it out, and it was talking about how the biggest block or barrier to communication at this time with the higher realms, with the Pleiadians, with any of your angels, your guides, whatever, is actually just our belief that we're broken or that we're blocked. So if we can get rid of that belief, we can really open ourselves up to that communication that much better, because a lot of times we're the only thing standing in our way. And if you guys want assistance with that, please reach out to me. My email's in the description box below. Yes, we have meditation and inner voice coming out. So really working with that art of meditation during this equinox, your inner voice is going to come through so strongly, so powerfully. I feel like for many of us, it's like your inner voice, your soul has been trying to tell you something, and you haven't quite fully heard it because you're not taking the time to get quiet enough for that energy to come through. So meditation will bring the answers. You will be able to, it's like, and I feel like for some people too, it's like you've been asking a question, but you haven't taken the time to get quiet to really receive the answer. Or you've been ignoring your inner voice. For some people, if you have been ignoring your inner voice, that voice is going to get louder. But meditation, see this heart energy here, really bringing in, anchoring those heart upgrades. Meditation is going to be helpful with that. So if you can't join for the Equinox, for the live, do your own meditation. And then we have Soul Love number 33 with There Is Only Light and Light Beings. Okay? So that's beautiful energy coming through there on the bottom of the deck. Falling in love more deeply with your soul. Experiencing soul love, experiencing connection. And this ties right in with the Galactic Activation Portal energy too. Feeling this deeper sense of connection. As we have this deeper heart opening, we're going to be able to see the reflection of our light so much more powerfully in others. We're going to be drawn so powerfully to the souls that we are meant to be drawn from. We're just going to feel that love emanating from us in every expression possible, right? Love, like the true unconditional energy and frequency of love. As we're moving through those distortions, right? 33 is a master number. As we are moving, we're moving away from the distortions of love toward a more pure energy of love. And notice we got somebody meditating here too. And look at the energy that's starting to come in here. And we see the person with the dark outline, right? And then look, they're just filled with this light. That heart opening then opens up everything. And it's just flooded. Yeah. And another meditating figure being flooded with light, right? There's only light, all else is illusion. And light beings, I mean, it's a powerful illusion, and that doesn't mean that we pretend that that the distortions aren't there, and it doesn't mean that we don't speak up against those, and it doesn't mean that we don't acknowledge that and have awareness of it. Right? Doesn't mean we stick our heads in the sand and we pretend everything's good. That's not what there is only light means. It just means that ultimately the truth is love and the truth is light. Everything is just a different expression or distortion of light. A different trick or play of the light, I guess you could say. And then we have the light beings. So yeah, really coming through, wanting to connect with us, wanting to remind us of our star-seeded heritage, of our cosmic consciousness, right? Is this not a perfect example of cosmic consciousness right there? Or illustration of cosmic consciousness. And isn't it beautiful how we have the earth right here? And you see this beautiful light being, this beautiful cosmic consciousness just focused so intensely on the earth. And we see all the other planets here too, right? Weren't we talking about how our connection to the planets and the cosmos was going to grow stronger? But it's like all of that beautiful focused intention, love, and healing toward the planet. Coming from the cosmos and also coming from us here on Earth. All right, then we have insight. Yeah, those insights through meditation, that's like the main thing they want us to know right now. If you want to connect to the light beings, if you want to connect to your light, to your truth, right? If you want to experience this expansive heart awakening and step more deeply into the truer vibrations of love. If you want to hear that inner voice, meditate, meditate, meditate. That's it. Pure, plain, and simple. And this message is just for as much for me as for you guys, because honestly, I need to get better about that myself. Clear. It's like half the things we're asking for, if we just meditated, and soul family, if we just meditated, they would come through much more powerfully. All right. So what were we going to do now? We were going to talk about, yes, we're going to talk about the white solar wind energy. And we're also going to pull to close out the card portion. Clear. A Star Temple Oracle card. Any final messages here? Clear. From the Star Temple or okay. We have the Amber Star, let go. I surrender and allow myself to grieve. And we have the Inner Temple, life lessons. I go within my shadow for deep spiritual growth. So, Spirit's coming through saying, remember, 50% light, 50% dark. All right? That the balance. There is only light, but at the same time, that shadow still exists. That shadow still needs to be illuminated. That light needs to be shown everywhere. So don't forget to do your shadow work. Don't forget to honor your darkness as well as your light during this equinox. Don't forget to honor and love all aspects of your being. And continue to let go. This is that energy of making space, right? We talk about it's a harvest energy, but we're also making space for the next cycle of growth that's getting ready to occur as we move into the dark times. Yeah, so don't forget to do that shadow work. There are things that we're being asked to let go of as well right now. It's okay to grieve those things. It's okay to feel some type of way about that, but we still want to allow it. Like, we don't want to attach onto it. We want to let it go. And to have whatever process we need to have around that, but to do it. Yeah, for some people, it's like so much is changing right now, and they're saying, like, grieve the life that you're leaving behind. Grieve the you that you're leaving behind if you need to. Like, if there's anything, too, this is also, as we receive this huge heart-opening energy, we hold a lot of grief within the heart center, right? Within the lung area, this chest area. And so some of that may be cracked open. And if it is, that's okay. Like, we need to experience that in order to heal. Yeah. And this exploration of that, of our other half, right? Of whatever it is that's been buried, that's wanting to be illuminated. Yeah, we have shame coming out too. I no longer hide my face. I step into my light with love. So anywhere where these lower vibratory energies, right? We really want to be willing to go into the shadow, into these darker energies in order to heal. We want to release this grief, right? This energy of grief, this energy of shame, this energy of, I think we were talking about guilt earlier, right? All of these emotions, really acknowledging, being truthful with ourselves about where those still exist within us so that we can free and liberate ourselves from them. so that we can step more deeply into our truth, so that we can step more deeply into our light. Because that's what we came here to do. We came here to shine. Yeah, and on the bottom of the deck, the Enchanter, 21. Oh, so we got 20, 21 here. 20 and 21. I wish upon a star and my dreams come true. So remember, there's powerful manifesting energy as well that's available to us right now. So really utilize that. And know that you are manifesting and creating in every single moment. So what are you manifesting? What are you creating? All right. So with this Galactic Activation Portal, this white solar wind energy, this is the energy of communication, both with each other and with spirit. Spirit, like breath, like wind, is a messenger of circulation, allowing fresh currents to move through our channels, invigorating and reorienting us. When we express as inspired, spirit moves through us freely. Our abilities and styles of communicating shape our realities and our relationships with others. Healthy exchange conveys ideas and feelings, inviting clarity, insight, and enhanced intimacy. Let ears be open so truths may be spoken. White wind also prompts us to commune with our personal spiritual realm and discover how we can transmit our inspiration from the unseen into this physical dimension to share our revelations and enthusiasm. Breath is the fuel of life. As Native American teachings share, through our breath we are in relation with all life, never separate from the great mystery. Not only does breath carry oxygen throughout our bodies and brains, it integrates our mind-body-spirit connection, enlivening their inherent sacred alliance. Breath helps us to commune, to calm, center, and refine our responses. Breath is a powerful tool in eliminating stresses and toxins, and overall has a profound effect on how we feel emotionally and physically, and on the state of our mind. White wind advises, breathe consciously, breathe deep. Communicate, convey your truths, and create connections. Follow your spirit without hesitation. And then there's a quote by Rumi at the end, for spirit is so near that you can't see it. So yeah, it's really powerful, this connection between the energy of spirit and the breath, and the ways that we use the breath, the ways that we work with the breath, the way that the breath carries life force, the way it literally enlivens our cells. It rejuvenates, it restores. There is so much that breath does. Breath and oxygen is essential for the recalibration and the evolution of our DNA as well. And so breathing long and deeply, working with the different ways that we can activate ourselves and our energy bodies with our breath. Really, really powerful. And communicating, right? This energy of communicating, of speaking our truth, really coming through powerfully again when we're looking at this white solar wind energy. And I have some stuff, of course, on the white solar wind coming up here that I'm going to read for you guys. But it's really connecting with that beautiful divine inspiration today, bringing that inspiration through, sharing that inspiration, channeling, right? That came up with the Pleiadian card. It came up a couple times, I think, this energy of being that channel for spirit and working with the breath in order to channel that energy. Working with the breath through breath work, through communication, right? Through speaking, through singing. Some people may be connecting more. I know a lot of people where light language is opening up for them, which is a pure heart transmission of language that's either spoken, signed, danced, sung. There's so many ways that we experience or express this energy, right? Just spontaneously coming through. They are transmissions of love that communicate with us beyond our conscious minds, that communicate directly with our higher self in order to transmit energies, in order to transmit wisdom, knowledge, in order to break down old patterns. There's so much that light language can do. So playing around with that as well. If you feel inspiration running through you, just release it. If you feel words coming to you, even if you don't know what they are, even if they make no sense, just let them flow. All right? And so the affirmations and remember the solar tone is all about intention. And so that's where there's a powerful energy as well with intention. And when we're working with the breath, with the words, right? We want to be aware of their power, especially when we're also in this white wizard wave spell, which is all about being the wizard, right? Being that magician, knowing that we create, that we cast spells with our words. And so for kin 22, the white solar wind, which 2-2, right? We have the affirmation of, I pulse in order to communicate, realizing breath. I seal the input of spirit with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of endlessness. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. And the secondary affirmation is, I am Ike Wind. I am your breath of life and your spirit. I inspire you to create your own truth and reality. Ooh. Yes, white wind days are good for sending and receiving messages. Open your ears and listen for words from spirit. Pay attention to dreams, for they may be a communication from a higher source. If something draws your attention, look closer at it, for it may be a clue. If someone rings you up just as you are thinking about them, don't just dismiss it as coincidence. Consider the situation more carefully, so pay attention to synchronicity. Listen harder today and you may well hear something interesting. Focus on Spirit's presence by acting on your natural inspiration. Let Spirit's breath guide you to communicate your truths. And we're also going to read from the Astro Dream Advisor. And I just hit the back button one too many times. Here we go. From the Astro Dream Advisor to close. White wind is the galactic wind, the catalyzing current, the spirit that moves through all things. It is the divine breath that gives life to all creation, the unseen essence of solar energy. White wind is the breath of inspiration, the fertilizing force of the wind. Its essence is the movement of spirit as it penetrates into form to enliven, purify, and inspire. Receive the gift of white wind by simply taking a conscious breath. Amidst the seeming complexity, breathe consciously. Allow your life to be more like the wind, free-flowing and open to spirit. White wind represents spontaneity and simplicity. As you experience the truth of the present moment, white wind leaves you free to move on to the next moment, without the baggage of desire, regret, or expectation. White wind is the simple knowledge that invisible forces are always moving in your life, guiding and inspiring. White wind also embodies the concept of presence. Presence is an expression of beingness, a creator of intimacy. It has to do with being wise in your simplicity. From simple beingness, your true identity emerges. Presence is being open, aware, and in the now. Presence is being there for whatever is. And especially when we're working with this energy of time, right? And the way that linear time is changing and unwinding, and we're able to play with it more. We play with that from the present moment, right? Because that's the only moment that exists. Think back to a time when someone looked deeply into your eyes, acknowledging your beingness with their full presence. Remember how wonderful and intimate that felt. When you want to be intimate with someone, become equally open, aware, and present. When you bring your awareness into the present moment, everything else falls away. When you are fully present, your mind is not preparing responses to what it is hearing while you're listening and feeling, right? This is essential when we're communicating. Drop your evaluating and reactive nature. Trust that your heart will have the appropriate response when the time comes. Allow your mind to be quietly responsive like a pool of water, natural in its unconditional acceptance of the moment. Presence is simple. It is like being caught in the moment by the beauty of nature. Presence is your natural state of being. When you are present, your heart feels open, charged, and full. When you are present, whether alone or with another, you are loose and relaxed. Time may seem to slow down. You can expand your awareness with ease, allowing yourself to truly see and be seen. You let your feelings speak through your eyes, and the feeling channel in you breathes freely without expectation or judgment. Another gift offered through white wind is the integration of polarities within you, which we talked about a little bit in the beginning of the video. Polarity is the loom on which reality is strung, the magnetic dance of universal forces playing in grand cooperation. But polarity is also an important alchemical process used in the transmutation of form and matter. We are now poised in a time when duality is transforming into unity. The polarities held in relationships, our male and female aspects, even the manifestation of karma, are all changing. We are moving into a time when the polar aspects of all things are coming together in truth. You are the creative field for the integration of the larger pattern of duality. The potential in all relationships is moving toward trust, openness, and unconditional acceptance. The Maya had a special relationship to Venus because of its unified polarity, seen in the ability to transform itself from the morning star to the evening star. As we unite our polarities, which can be seen as our male and female aspects, We mirror the divine feminine and masculine aspects that are presently uniting in order to birth the consciousness of the divine child within us. This unification is a state of wholeness that frees and enhances, permeating our being on all levels. Getting in touch with your male and female aspects and how you perceive them is an integral part of the alchemical process that brings them harmony. You can begin the process of integrating polarities through an increased understanding of the awareness in both sides of your body. The right side generally represents the male, the left side the female. In meditation, observe the qualities of each side. Bring out their issues, fears, strengths, and potentials. Feel them, move with them, talk to them. Create and draw images. Make sounds. Write about them. Explore your relationships. Then, taking as much time as you need, allow them to flow together, unified in solar androgyny. Freeing past perceptions, claim harmony, healing, and love, and bring that new sense of unity into the present moment. All right, you guys. So, hopefully I will see some of you on the 22nd, 3:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Adjust accordingly for your own time zone. I love you guys. I appreciate you so very, very much. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful equinox, whether I see you or not. And yeah, just expressing that pure love for each and every single one of you, from my heart to your heart. If you enjoyed or you loved this video, hit that like button. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And as I said, my email's down below with a description of the services I offer. If you would like to work one-on-one with me, please reach out to me. It is my privilege and my honor. I will talk to you guys very, 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 very soon.